Rob, you're on the committee of IOSH's international group. What does the group do?
It basically connects members around the world for legal purposes, health and safety matters, cultural differences, and you can put people in touch with people who have experience of various different countries and different practices that take place there.
And are legal and cultural issues kind of the main challenges for health and safety practitioners working internationally, do you think?
I think so, because when you learn from your IOSH and you get qualified for the institution, what you don't learn is foreign law. And in a lot of these countries, the law is very different to what we come to expect in the EU, some of it not being risk-based, more specific. And some countries, of course, have no health and safety laws at all. So it's an experience where we have to advise people how far they need to go to comply with certainly your civil duties.
So how can members tap into your expertise then?
Well, initially, the best way to do that is coming through the International Specialist Group page at IOSH. And there are email contacts there. There are specific members of the committee who look after different areas, for instance, Africa or Asia or hostile environments. And that can be coordinated because we have members all around the world, so we can actually put you in touch with people.
So how does the international group work with other IOSH networks like the branches and the other groups?
Well, we're getting more and more involved with branches at the moment. We're offering our services for people to go and talk to branches to explain where we are, what we're doing and who we are. Initially, it can be on a specific topic, which will be agreed by ourselves, and then with questions and answer sessions afterwards.
What are the most common kind of queries you get from members?
Well, mainly it's the legal aspects. If somebody's working abroad, and that could be a Hong Kong-based person working in Africa or a British person working in Bulgaria, it doesn't really matter which. We are able to actually advise, and on the webpage, on the international webpage, there are links to other countries' laws, and we can advise on that as well, because some of it's not quite so succinct.
So how do you actually hold events with the international group if you're based all around the world?
A lot of it's by webinar or web conferences, but we do try at least at IOSH conference to get a meeting together, and we've had one major successful meeting where about 90 people from the International Specialist Group that came, and we split into topics and working groups. So we knew some of the queries beforehand, and therefore we tried to explain away some of those.
So you're kind of pioneering the new technology approach to getting people together? Very
much so. The ISSE in America have a very similar setup, and we have one of our committee members is also, I think, either vice president or is just about to become vice president of ISSE. So we have close links with the Americans as well.
So if members want to get in touch with somebody on the committee, what do they need to do?
Go to the IOSH webpage and look for the international group. On there, there'll be contacts for the chairman, which is David Evans, plus the other committee members by specialisms or country specialisms, but also the IOSH staff who are allocated to look after the international group.
With it being international, I guess it kind of crosses over with a lot of other IOSH groups which are sector-based.
Well, one of the queries we've had from some of the other groups were how did we fit in with them, particularly oil and gas and people like that, and some of the I think it's the food section. How do we cover the whole lot? Well, it's interesting because you can be a member of two groups. We cover everything, so if people are moving around between companies or businesses and people are changing their own jobs, moving from oils, for instance, to construction, we can still bridge that gap.
Do you think having an awareness of international law is becoming more necessary for health and safety practitioners?
I think it's vital. If you're working for a company that has business around the world, it is so important. There have been so many legal cases where companies have been fined for civil duties. And as we know that British law doesn't apply abroad. However, the one fact that does is the risk assessment of people going abroad, for instance. That is one specific. That is the only specific part of British law that does apply.
So if you could ask the current members of the international group one thing, what would it be?
What I'd like to know from members is what else we can do with regard to international health and safety. What other areas are there of expertise that they require, and how we can help them. So if there's any specifics, I would like that to come through on the emails. We will be able to find out what is required and come back to you, and we're all able to do that.
And what do you get out of being involved in the international group as much as you are?
Oh, I get to meet a variety of people, and in my own particular job, I've moved around the world, and I learn the cultural differences, and that's something that fascinates me, and I quite like the travel as well.
Thanks a lot for your time.
Thank you.